know. Oh, what's this? So this meeting is being live streamed. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Does that normally pop up?
Yeah, I
Hang
just
on.
put it up. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So like,
And Andy, your collar's up. Just so you know, your collar. There you go. There we go. All right,
okay.
go. Tell me.
I dress, but I don't think I actually know, although I've dealt with it, the term for some time. I don't actually know what a mystic is, what a mystic does. I believe I have many mystic friends on LH, and a lot of people will call themselves perhaps mystic in terms of their journey or whatever it is they're doing. Perhaps I may well be a mystic. I don't know. I'm pretty much as white bread as white people come. I don't know what a mystic is. I don't know what a mystic does. And in some respect, not in some, in all respects, I don't care. Not because I don't care,
Right,
but because it's irrelevant to me.
Yes.
But, however, I wouldn't mind knowing from people who call themselves mystics, what the hell's a mystic? You know, like, am I a mystic? You know, just because, I mean, you've seen my posts. I mean, am I weird? Am I? I mean, I love everyone,
Yes.
irrespective of where they are, what
Yes.
they're doing. Doesn't matter. I've come out of traditional Christianity, like 20 years in Pentecostal circles, following, well, I won't name anyone because I don't know who's listening, but you think of the top American guys, and I've been on their A-list and I've given them money and all that a long time ago,
Right,
ago.
right.
I stepped off that platform because, well, they weren't smelling the shit they were stepping in, quite frankly, and yeah, and I wasn't going for it anymore. So, yeah, I guess back to if you like, you can go right back to classical. I suppose, or I assume you have a classical training in theology. I'm assuming that. What's a mystic? Like, what the hell's a mystic? Like, explain it for all the Australians who are dumb as shit, okay?
You're a joy, Andy. Everybody has their own opinions. And actually, I'm in the middle of a conversation both on the Rev Wendy board as well as a Christianish mystic group that I'm blessed to be in. We're in the conversation. What is Christian mysticism?
Yeah.
And, you know, before I say my answer, I really love one of the answers that a woman, Anastasia, was giving. She's just like, what she said is, I'm so sick of this question because
that was on one of your posts earlier, right? Anastasia?
Yes, she's great.
Okay, I read it, but that's about all.
And she said just the other day, yesterday or something, she said, you know, I'm kind of sick of this question because from my understanding, the ultimate Christians are mystics.
Yeah.
And she went on to talk about direct experience, direct spiritual experience. And, you know, that's how I read Paul. You know, first of all, he got knocked off his horse. He had very direct spiritual experience that changed his whole life. And then he constantly was talking about, it's about spirit, not law. Well, if it's about spirit, well, we need to be able to access spirit. We need to be able to trust the Holy Spirit in us if we're going to trust that instead of law. And if we're going to trust that instead of the old religion. If we're going to walk with Jesus, we need to know his voice, these kinds of things.
Well, I don't want to interject, but I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you got me with Paul, all right? If he is classified as a mystic, then me as well, Okay. So in that sense, you've clarified, at least to my mind, what I've asked you. I suppose some people would see a mystic as, well, let's say I have some mystic friends and they like trees and lakes and fish, and which is cool. But I keep saying to them, do you know what? I'm not in love with a tree or a fish or a flower. I'm in love with the person. And so if that means I will fall out of mystics or mysticism, then yeah, I kind of then in that sense fall out because I fall out with people that no, that's wrong. I don't fall out. I don't fully align or hear people that go, the power of, I don't know, the power of silence and the power of this. It's like, well, yeah. Look, I'll tell you what, I've been in silence many years and I've sought silence and I jumped off the religious cliff, I jumped off that cliff that says, well, if there's no fucking God, then there's no fucking God. I'm willing to wear that. Is it who's going to follow? Not who's going to follow me, but all right, I am prepared to accept that most of my life I've believed in the fairy tale, and I'm prepared to jump into whatever dark cliff I need to face to find that out, or to find out a truth. A truth, not the church's truth, not your truth, Rev, not my wife's truth, not my best friend's truth, but okay, what? Okay, rephrase it. I will not be spend the rest of my life as an apologetic for God or for Christianity, because that just sucks. It's a meaningless existence. What is this God in my head that I killed because it made no fucking sense? What is this God? What is it? Who is this guy who tells us? Well, in the Western church, he loves us, he hates us, he loves us, he hates us, he loves us, he hates us, he loves us, he hates us. I go, fuck that. No. The Jews got it fucking wrong. And forgive my swearing, we do that here, right? It's part
it's
of
good.
our language.
I'm all good.
And so it's like, all right. So the Jew of Jews turns up and he goes, oh, you fuckers, you've got it all wrong. You haven't got a clue. And they go, well, never mind about all that, but you said you're God and we're going to kill you for that. And he goes, but you still haven't got a clue. And he goes, yeah, but we're still going to kill you. And it's like, wow, how shallow, how, I mean, they weren't hanging on to anything spirit or real. They were going like, well, Moses wrote this shit and we've got to maintain it. He wrote 643 laws, but we can do like 3. But we'll do the 3. We'll do the 3, And, like, for fuck's sake, Christ, what do you want? Like, we've done 3. And he goes, no. He goes, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. You need to be better than the scribes and the Pharisees. You need to fulfill the law. And they go, well, no one can fulfill the law. And he goes, well, actually, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So am I really winding off on a bit of a tangent here, Rev? Or
it's great. It's great. It's, could I just say something? Because I don't want to Jew bash.
Go for it.
I just want to say that it seems to me that we're in the same exact situation in Christianity right now.
Yeah.
Jesus is here saying, hey, let's go, let's play, let's be love, let's do these things. And Christians are like, no, we have this book and we have these rules. Like, it's the same shit
Yeah.
from my perspective. So just, like, it's just, I think the Jewish people have been set in the bad guy role in that particular scenario. And it's just the same thing over and over with religion from my perspective.
Yeah. Well, I would include most of Western Christianity, American westernized evangelical views.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at. I mean, you guys have had another shooting there, and everyone's up in arms about this and that and the other. And I mean, we have shootings here in Oz and other places of the world. It's like, you guys, not you as a person, but the nation. If you pulled in, you don't want to bash on the Jews. Neither do I. I had no intention of doing that. But I might as well bash on the American evangelicals that go, well, if I was bashing the Jews, I'm bashing them as well as the Australian evangelicals and the European one. It's like, please, we've got this Christian party here in Australia. We've just had an election, and they go, well, we'll uphold your Christian voice in the Parliament, in the Assembly of Government. And I've just put a comment on there, and I said, what the fuck do you know about my values? You're a Christian right-wing group. Like, how dare you presume to know how people feel? Like, what? We're against abortion, or we're for abortion? Like, how do you even postulate that you can represent us in Parliament, or in your terms it would be like Congress, or what? It's like, but don't stand up and say, oh, Christian stuff. It's
right.
So
yeah.
So look, if Australians bash everyone. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and it's not part of my. It's not part of my platform to bash the Jews.
I totally get it. I needed to say something, like, it's just like, it's just so much bigger than the Jews were cast in that role in the Jesus story, but it's the human condition. It's the same thing with Moses. Moses is like, hey, come up the mountain with me. Come have some direct experience. No, you go. It's the human condition.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And one of my favorite stories is that story. The Father of the Spirit, the Creator goes, come on, guys, check it out. And they go, oh, hell no. There's like smoke and lightning and shit. And
right.
we're not grooving on that. I mean, actually what these people saw is beyond me. But anyway, here's a person. Let's call it deity, God, whatever. And he's going, come on, people, let's sit together and have a talk. And they're going, oh, hell no.
Right.
I mean, like, what the fuck? So I kind of love that story and I kind of hate it because people go like, oh, why did Moses this and Moses that? And I go, well, because you're stupid. Because you're fucking stupid. It's like God's going, come and have a chat, and you're going like, oh, there's lightning. Now, I don't know what these people saw. I don't know, but the times I've been invited to a chat, and they've, like, in terms of my own walk, in my time when I've been sad or when I've been happy or when I've been invited, actually, I'm never invited. And I need to qualify that. He starts talking to me when I'm not paying attention. When I'm mowing the lawn, when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm gardening, when I plead and beg and I don't hear nothing. When I'm unoccupied mentally, then all of a sudden he goes, excuse me, I believe your mind is occupied. Let me occupy it. And I go like, oh, yeah, okay, right. Like, you want to talk now? You really want to talk now? Like, I'm mowing the lawn and that means nothing to you. And he goes, actually, yeah, you're right. It doesn't mean anything to you. That's when I get interrupted. I'm not looking for it. I'm not begging or pleading.
Yeah.
I'm doing the mundane. I'm doing the stuff of life. What you do. You go for a walk. I don't know. You get your hair cut, or you might watch people in the park, or feed some doves or pigeons, and all of a sudden someone starts talking to you, and you go like, right, yeah. So like all those like 20, 30, 100 other nights when I didn't have a friend, and you're going like not listening. You've got your ears plugged. Now you want to talk. And I go, well, excuse me, but I have to cut my grass right now. But anyway, look, when I say he, she, it, they win.
Right.
They win. And it's not a fabrication. And I know it's not a fabrication anymore because it keeps happening. It keeps happening. That the stuff that he comes up with, he, she, they come up with, is completely not my doing. They are the funniest people I've met, person I've met, and they know just where to put that little prodding stick to make me giggle. So
yes.
I'm hoping that's kind of I'm not so much driving with you, but I'm hoping that that's cool. Let's go mystical. That resonates with you. I hate that fucking word, resonate. But
you don't like it.
No. Look, it's all very. I'm a white bread Aussie guy, which is why I asked you to explain mysticism.
Yeah,
I would appreciate that. Well, sorry, I'll change that wording. I think you can read between the lines, and you can see there's a lot more to the white bread Australian than I put in print.
Yeah, that's why we were talking. Yeah. So it's so hard. It's hard to find words, right? Like I just use mystic as a word that means I use it as it's a word that means we're open in our soul to divine experience, to spiritual experience. Yep. Some people are close to it or aren't ready for it or are happy avoiding it or whatever. But some of us are open and willing to be in the conversation, to be in the dance. And then there's the part, and for me, mystics are more than that, because otherwise it's just psychic. It's just spiritual. Yeah. It's just soul information.
That kind of weirds me a bit, that one, but go for it.
I know, that's why I don't use that word. It's just psychic. Psychic means soul. It's just soul information. But that, for me, there's more to mystics than just psychic. For me, it's this desire for God, or this desire to go deeper spiritually, or whatever this, for me, it's been a lifetime compulsion with the divine.
Are you seeing this? Can you see my hand?
No, I can't see your hand. Oh, okay. Is it over your heart?
It's over my heart.
Yeah.
It's over my heart. I can see your entirety or your upper body. I know I can only see my head in the above picture.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You're a little close, and you could also tilt I don't know if you can tilt your screen.
It's a flat screen.
There you go. Now if you sit back, we'll see you. Yeah. What's that saying, Andy?
Well, where's my hand?
Yeah.
So there's already a connection there, Rev, and I don't know what you're on about, but that's just caution. That's just caution.
It's
and
adorable.
I don't know why you would ever want me I don't know why you ever want me as a guest on anything you do, because, well, that's why I said perhaps you and I should talk first before I appear anywhere, in any capacity on any of your programs. You might go like, well, hey, I've got this guy and he's a bit odd. But see, I'm not and you're not, but all right.
Okay, can I speak to that? Andy, can I speak to that?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. And please call me Andy.
Andy, is it okay to here's the thing. Touch your screen again. I want to see your face. It comes with the territory. I think mystics are odd by default. There's an American Southern writer whose name is going away from me right now. Maybe it'll come back. O'Connor.
It's okay.
Somebody O'Connor. She says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you odd."
Oh shit.
Yeah. Flannery O'Connor. She's a famous Southern writer. She writes really weird stuff. Speaking of odd, but yeah.
I like weird.
Yeah.
Like weird.
And you asked why I might ask you to have a conversation, and I think it's because recently you have been in transition. Recently, something opened and changed for you, and you talked about it some, but I could really tell in your presence, in your energy, or whatever you want to say. And that's why I want to talk to you. What happened and what's going on?
All right. Yeah. Wow. A little bit of, I guess, initial response there. I'm not used to being recognised. I don't look for recognition. I pretty much write from what I've experienced since 2005, since I left the church. I tend to be slightly cryptic and or bloody obvious, one or the other. If cryptic doesn't work, then I'll just one of my lifelong friend is one of your friends, Darko Kane.
Who?
Darko Kane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm friends with him.
I've known Darko Kane for 45 years personally. We're both Australian, and he was and still is a very close personal friend. He says he does stuff with Wendy Francisco. I think he does some moderation there on the thing. Anyway, he's my best mate, best friend in life. He says about me, and it's true, you're a tortoise without a shell. Your neck's always sticking out. And he's right. He's right. I pretty much go where angels fear to tread. Partially because I'm kind of immune, because I rejected the hellfire breathing God in 2005 or earlier. I just told him straight to his face, what I thought was his face. I said, no, I'm not playing. Why don't you go to hell? Why don't you go to hell and leave me alone? Except, he said, well, I'm not leaving you alone, and hell's got nothing to do with it. And I'm glad you're out of church, sonny boy. So so I refer to Dale because I think you have heard of him, and he's made an observation about me. And Dale and I were talking the other night. I would say he's my confidant. Other than my wife, who's also been his personal friend, He's my confidant, and well, and vice versa. I tell him when he's wrong, just so he knows he's wrong. So it was a joke, all right. It was a joke. So yeah. So part of I don't know. People say or have said, "Oh, you've got an interesting writing style," or "you kind of talk in mysteries," or on the flip side, I get the lonely female that goes, I understand you, and I know what it feels like to be misunderstood, and I believe me, I understand you. You know, single women, and I go like, actually, I believe you've misunderstood me entirely. I'm not interested in your divorce. I'm not interested in the fact that you're lonely, and no, I can't help you in your how or why you're going to, and no, I don't understand you. And a lot of times I get, oh, oops, sorry. And I go, no, don't be embarrassed. I can see how you would write that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I don't need a person as a soulmate on FB. I express myself in certain ways, and if you glean something from it, well, that's really good. But and I welcome your vulnerability in that. But no, we're not talking about me leaving Australia and moving over to America to move in with you. Well, I mean, and I'm sorry, but that's what a man gets when
I know there's a lot of that weird back channeling thing that goes on with humans. Yeah.
And I mean, for crying out loud, I don't know how many times or what it is, but I just go like, I do say stuff, and it is from the heart, but
yes,
it doesn't mean I know your circumstances personally. And I'm so glad that you offered your personal circumstances to me, but honey, I'm not. Anyway, I'm kind of embarrassed about that actually, but see, look what I'm offering you already.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is though, I think, is that there's so much loneliness and there's so much need, Andy, as you know, and you know, with your life, and when we are real, people are so hungry for just effing real.
It's like, don't they get it anywhere? It's like, well, Wendy is a good one. Like, Wendy Francisco.
Yeah.
Now, more than often I'll just joke with her, or what we call in Australia, I'll take the piss. Do you know what that expression means?
Say it again.
Take the piss.
Take the piss.
Yeah.
I get the picture.
All right. So imagine this. It's like, where we Australians get that from, it's like this. It's like, stop telling me it's raining while you're pissing in my pocket.
Oh, I love that.
So when we take the piss, what we're not doing is we're not pissing down your leg, making you feel warm, while all the time we know it's going to go wet and stinky. So when we say I'm not taking the piss, it means I'm not giving you a warm feeling. And if we say I am taking the piss, it means I'm just going to laugh at you right now, and I'm going to pee on you and make you feel warm. So I'm sure you have exactly the same expression, only you don't use those words. I'm not doing this deliberately to make you feel cozy and welcome, but please, by all means, feel cozy and welcome, because that's what I'm doing. I'm pissing in your pocket. I'm making your leg feel warm. And that's uniquely Australian, I guess, but I guess you get the gist, right? So
yes, I get the gist.
I say to people, look, in case it's not clear, I'm taking the piss right now. And Wendy Francisco, for one, adores it. She's very Monty Python, gets all the English stuff, gets all the Australian stuff. And I'm one of, I guess, 10 Australians, but mostly I'm the loudest in terms of taking the piss out of Wendy. I very rarely take her seriously, except when she's hurt or cut, and not many people pick that up. And I'll back her up, and I go, no, this isn't good enough. People, stop beating on her. And for what it's worth, I won't tolerate that. So.
So you're her mate. Like when she really needs you, you're there for her.
Yeah.
Well, you're giving her a hard time.
Most of the time, I just give her a hard time, but sometimes she like me sticks her neck out.
Yes,
and she cops it.
She gets really hurt. She really gets hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She. I met her husband Don Francisco long time ago. Went to his concerts in Australia. Yeah. He's alive. All that. If you know.
Oh yeah, his music's amazing. Yeah.
So I saw him in 82. I think he came out to Australia 1982. He's alive and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, all that.
So now I'm friends with not so much Don, but Wendy, and yeah. So you don't mess with you, Wendy, and the other Wendy, because
don't mess with any of the Wendys.
Yeah, because Andy doesn't like it, and if it's genuine, I mean, if it's real, yeah. But don't mess with someone that's really trying to just share love. You're falling out of my grace now.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Well, you see how I'm volunteering. Well, I think I'm volunteering, but
you are.
It may not be entirely what you wanted. But
it's what I want. I want you real. That's how you're showing up.
Yeah.
Like that's the important part.
You're pretty much getting it. And thank you. What have you got there at 9:30 in the morning, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some. Is that a picture or is that a real tree behind you?
It's a real tree. I'm at a college campus. I'm staying in the National Forest, and I had to come in to talk to you to come in to get cell coverage.
Yeah.
So I'm at this really sweet little college out in North Carolina mountains.
Yeah. So fundamentally, yeah, that's a big word for a country hick boy like me. Are you okay with me wanting to talk with you further before I go, okay, let's get involved with Rev Wendy, let's do the whole 9 yards, so that at least you could, I don't know, have a look at the guy that's not necessarily a visual, but you get the voice, you get the inflection, you get the raised eyebrows, you get the whole thing. I've spoken to people, typing, and you don't get you don't see a response other than a response in type. So what I'm I'm not trying anything actually, but was hoping for is that you'd see a fat dude with glasses and pretty much, hopefully a straight shooter.
Yeah. And with stuffed animals hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, shit, Brett. Do you know who did that? The bride, the missus. This is my computer room. So my computer room, I've got a printer and all that and a spare bed, and she's put the fucking stuffed toys up there. All right.
It's adorable.
Yeah. I thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm so pleased.
Take you very seriously.
Yes. Yeah. Hang on. Let's just move this. Hang on. Let's just move these animals.
It's fine. It's great. I think it's awesome. So, I do want to hear though, so we kind of took a left turn about the transitions you've been going through.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about it, you don't have to.
No. Well, that's the reason I post, if anyone can glean anything from what I posted, that's the reason I posted, to get out of I want to say to get out of religion, but I don't. It's such a loaded word. To wake up, to part of my transition, I guess, was terrifying, because I seriously considered last winter, actually, which would be your summer.
Yeah.
So, all right. So last winter, I journey intensified from talking about not believing that to actually sitting outside. If you've seen my page with my photo, you'll notice like a lake in the background, which is where I live. It's like a lake with tropical lilies and all that. And so that's where I live, the
Nice.
place behind it. So I'm sitting outside, I'm watching the ducks, and I'm sitting there all night, night after night after night. And I'm going, well, okay, there is just no God, because there's no response, no positive response to my calls. That there's a yearning or desire that, look, there must be something. This can't all be an accident. Someone has to be listening to me. And I just went, no, there's no one listening. There's no one listening, and there's no point in carrying your religious or Christian fervour any further than you have to as a human. There's no point in defending something you don't want to defend, or you do want to defend in the hope that no one will destroy the God you believe in. And I thought, well, no, fuck it. No, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's fucking destroy the lot. I'm fucking sick of this shit, of all this, oh, you're one hallelujah away from your breakthrough. You're like, fuck that to hell.
Yeah.
I'm going, no. So I go on this, I don't know. I guess some people would call it a quest. Some people would call it jumping off a cliff. Some people would call it just being bloody obvious or honest about all the years you hoped there was or would be a knight in shining armor to come in and go like, I've got you, everything's good. I'm here now, and
yes,
your faith has been restored, your prayers have been heard, and I'm here now as the archangel Gabriel. I've heard your prayers, and well, no, none of that.
Right.
None of that. But in the pit or something, I don't remember exactly where. I mean, I've read the Bible about 40 billion times, but the guy, and I'm only sort of relating this because it became a true thing for me. Jonah in the whale. Never really took that story very seriously. But when I personally felt I was in outer darkness and had jumped as far as I could possibly jump away from, I need to defend this God of mine, otherwise my life's going to crumble. And I'd just gone, right, there is nothing. And I'm prepared to live and die as though there's nothing. there was actually something. And that something was in the same darkness with me and just said, I'm here. That's it. That's it. No, nothing else. No heroic stories. No, I'm here to save you, but I'm here. And that's where things change. That's where, I guess, my belief system, my structure, my religion changed from I need to defend the God of the Bible, I need to defend the evangelical view, I need to defend the Catholic view, I need to... No. I went on a trip and most people would be shit scared of this trip. My journey was, I am dumping everything. I'm dumping my life, everything I've ever believed in. I'm dumping my marriage. I'm dumping everything just to sit in total blackness. And we had 3 or 4 nights of complete blackness. We had no moon, no. So I sat outside all night and I thought darkness and Satan and devils. And I thought, well, okay, you fuckers, you're going to hurt me. Really? The noises in the dark are going to hurt me? I said, okay, then hurt me. Because if you fucking can't, you don't exist. And yeah, well, I told a person what I was doing, and they said, well, Satan's going to tear you a new asshole. And I said, I welcome a new asshole. And no, Satan didn't tear me a new asshole. It doesn't even exist. I would love, Wendy, I would love if I could convey anything to anyone, I would love people to sit outside on dark nights and not be afraid, and not be afraid for there to be no God, especially the God they've formed in their brain. I would love to set people free from, oh, shit, I didn't go to church. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, I just swore. Oh, fuck, I said Christ. Fuck. You know, it's like, no.
Yes.
It's like, no, it's so Monty Python, Wendy. It's like, no, people, you need to be in tune with yourselves, with your own, as you Americans say, with your own ass. Get in tune with your own ass. See, we can do American as well as Ozzie.
At least American on TV. Go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't fine you for speeding. I fined you for hauling ass. So yeah, we've got the American stuff down, and I really think America needs a good dose of Australianism now, because your nation right now with the shootings, and not just that, the election, your nation needs some healing there, Rev. You know.
Yeah, really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a segue to put you off track, but
no.
I'm seeing so many posts from Americans, and you guys don't seem to know what to do. You know, it's like, well, you know, Trump was an asshole and Biden's asleep, but you can, hey, not with Trump, not with Biden, but I'm going like, you're just not with the program. You know, where's Martin Luther King? Where's the Kennedy years? Where's Moonshot? Where's America Means Something? It's like, it's like you haven't got a soul. Not you personally, but
right.
your nation. It's all right. I'll
Our
stop that.
nation, no, I just have to say, Andy, our nation just needs to sit outside in the dark for a few nights.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well,
Right?
yeah.
That'll do
Yeah.
it. Right?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
All right.
And maybe we need to get despairing enough. Maybe
Yeah.
we need to hit the wall.
So
But God,
I'm happy. You can totally dig like as much as you like. So if I'm not ashamed of where I am, what I've done. I'm puzzled. I really am. I'm puzzled. What I have a very dear friend that went to the same evangelical or Pentecostal church I did in 1982. She's still trying to convince me that there is time for me to repent and to listen to all the prophecies in the Bible have all got to do with America. And I go, no, sweetheart, no, none of them have got to do with America at all. And she keeps sending me posts from the American evangelist. And I go, sweetheart, there's one thing they lack, and it's love. And you lack it too, sweetheart, but I'll never unfriend you. I've got another one today about, latest prophecies of some preacher in America. And I go, well done, thanks very much for that. But prophecies have ceased, sweetie, it's all been done, it's finished. There's nothing, well, if I may be so bold, there's nothing you're going to find in prophecies pertaining to America and her battles with the rest of the world. That's extremely arrogant and
Yes.
presumptuous and ignorant.
Yes.
Ignorant.
Ignorant. Arrogant and ignorant. I love it.
So how dare a nation look at any prophecy, biblical prophecy, and then assume, God meant us. We are God's envoy. We are God's mouthpiece, and we're God's gun in the world.
Yes.
And you better listen to us, because there's the smiter who's about to smite. So
how sad.
Wendy, I really wish people would get off that program, because they're missing of the beauty of the fresh air around them, the guy that walks past and smiles, the kids playing in the background, the people you meet on the street that are hurting, the guy that, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of months, actually more than a few months ago. About 8 months ago, I was at the supermarket, and there was a guy there, and I just said g'day, and I said g'day. G'day is hello for Australians. You've got the g'day bit right, okay? And he goes, oh, you g'day, and I go, yeah, g'day, mate. And like he was poor, unshaven, unwashed, and all that, and he didn't have enough money for, like he was a homeless person. He didn't have enough money for a pack of smokes. And I said, look, I got this. So I bought his smokes. I smoke, by the way. So I bought his smokes, and so he said, oh, thanks. I said, it's all right, mate. I said, when was the last time someone loved you? And he goes, what? I go, no, I'm serious. I said, well, when was the last time you felt love? And he goes, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. And I said, can I love you? And he goes, all right, but don't be weird about it. Anyway.
Right.
So, like in the middle of a supermarket, I gave this guy, I hugged him and I gave him a kiss. And I said, you're loved. You are really loved. I can't change your circumstances. I can't. It's not my ability, but I can love you. And so he walked out, and I don't know, I bought myself a pack of smokes, and he was waiting outside, and he said, thanks. And I said, there's no need to thank me. Don't thank me, but I do appreciate that you stood outside and thank me. But please, go about your day, have some joy about your day, as much as you can, as much as you can comprehend. Have some purpose to your day, and know that someone stopped and said hello. That's all. I can offer you that. All the rest is something I can't do. So he waddled off. I've never seen him again. Like, we live in a small town on the coast here in the subtropical Australia. There's like 1,500 people. I mean, there's nobody. So, but so people think. Actually, no, people don't think I'm weird. In the same shop, someone accosted the shopkeeper, young lady, about a plastic bag, and he wanted one, and she said, well, you didn't ask. And anyway, he started ripping into her. And I said, well, that's enough of that. Thank you very much. And he goes, well, I'm not talking to you. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but I'm talking to you, and you are talking to my little sweetheart here. I see her every day, and she's going to have nightmares because you fuckwit are causing her to have nightmares. She asked you politely, do you want a bag? And you said no. Then you accused her of not giving her a bag. So now I'm talking to you, and I'm about 2 inches bigger than you and about 20 pounds heavier. So now what are we going to do about this? And he goes, well, I wasn't talking to you. And I said, well, terms of reference have changed. I'm now talking to you. And I said, would you like to have a good day, or would you like to continue your barrage on my friend? And he said, oh, I'm fucking out of here, you useless shithead. Was it you? And I said, well, you have a good day too. Now, this little lady, my little princess behind the counter, she just went, thank God you were here. I get this like 10 times a day, and no one sticks up for me.
Yeah.
No one. So I'm a bit of a romantic, a realistic romantic, and somewhat naive. So, man, you're really pulling the teeth here. You're not even trying.
Yeah, I don't have to try. You're wonderful. You know what I'm noticing? It's the same love, and it's the same courage of sitting in the dark and letting go, and then showing up in the world and standing with your shopkeeper friend. It's the same love and the same courage. It's just what you found in the dark, you bring into the light.
Yeah.
That's how it occurs to me. It's like you're just willing to go with it in a way that other people get stopped. And the same with the hug and kissing the man. It's like most people would be like, oh, that's too weird or whatever. It's just like, it's not too weird.
It's not
too weird.
And it's not weird except when you tell, well, it's not weird for me ever. Right. But I tell my wife, and she goes like, oh, really? And I went, well, yeah, actually, really, sweetheart. Yeah, totally. And she goes, and you just did it? And I go, yes, I just did it. Why? And I said, why? Because it came out of me. It wasn't forced on me. Something came out of me that I could possibly share that with, or not transfer, but share that, the hug, the connection with a real person, rather than, there go the church bells, rather than, I'll pray for you, or God bless you, keep you warm,
Right.
So I've had enough of that, Rev. Do you mind if I call you Rev, or would you rather Wendy?
You can call me Webs. People do. It's not how I identify, but it's kind of sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, well, actually, Rev's kind of cute. Did you had a classical training?
I'll tell you as soon as the bells stop.
Yeah. I can't. Got to ring them bells. Crikey.
It's really sweet. Oh, it's
It is.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here. So I had an academic biblical training. I was very fortunate in college. I actually was really especially blessed to study with Bart Ehrman, who's written many books now. You might be familiar with him.
I'm not too good on the book thing, but
yeah, whatever. So I trained in secular university in biblical studies in religion and Christian religion mostly. And that is the end of my academic training, and it's more than enough. And I did all the usual reading and stuff that Christians do. But my ordination is from a non-academic seminary, which is like unheard of. That's basically, you could say, is a mystic training. I was trained in how to encourage my own and others opening to soul senses, and to be in the flow of healing and change myself and helping others, and how to train people to go inside and have safe, comfortable ways to open. Et cetera, et cetera. Like that's the seminary that I went to. And what's really funny, Andy, about it is that when I was in academic college training, I was like, I want to go to seminary, and it needs to be, I need to learn my Greek and my Hebrew and my which I suck at. I suck at languages, I'll look it up and stuff, but and I was like, I need a really good, like, I don't want to be one of those just wussy social minister people. That's what I was thinking, right? And then life happens. Life happens, and I end up in the seminary that's like completely not academic at all. It's not even in the middle, psychological or something. I mean, it's all the way over here into direct spiritual experience, which is what I needed for my own journey. And then what I felt called to, I'm just like, I need to bring this to people. So I stayed and trained for 3 years, and it was intense. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. So perhaps and just from my comprehension, I mean, it's not essential. So I'm just aware, and this is just me being stupid, that like you're given a parish, or you're given a group, or you're given a flock. Were you given a flock or parish, or did you just decide to form a group on your own? Like, I'm talking in terms of traditional, say, Catholic or Anglican church.
Right.
Someone hands you go, we'll go and look after. There's 3 people that need you, or there's 100 or whatever. Go and be their guide. And that's my concept of someone coming through a traditional training seminar in theology or Greek, Latin. I fucking wish I'd never invented Latin. Like I'm on the Y Guy as a moderator.
I know, I do want to talk about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, and the Y Guy is the Greek geek.
He is Mr. Academic.
And I am not. People ask me questions, and I go like, how the hell should I know? And I've said to JJ, I go, do you realise how unqualified I am for this, because you know everything? And he goes, yeah, but what I'm missing is I need someone to tell me off, and someone to talk like you talk.
Yes. You balance him. He's very over here.
Yeah,
And yeah.
he's like always with the Greek, and I'm going like, JJ, no one fucking understands you. Like really, like talk like a person. And he goes, that's exactly why you're a moderator. And I go like, what? Because I fucking kept telling you off. And he goes, pretty much. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no end to that practice. There's no end how deep the academics goes, how the research goes. It's wild. There's no end to it.
And look, for my 2 cents, I've researched the copies of 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 the Septuagint, and forget about the Latin, and I'm disgusted with both of them because, all right, this is where you might call, well, I might consider myself a mystic in the classic sense. I read between the lines.
Yes.
What is being said, not verbatim, but what is the picture here? What is Paul saying? What is Abraham saying? What is King David saying? What is Jesus saying? I read the whole passage, or the whole chapter, or the whole like Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Corinthians. I read everything.
Right.
And then I go, okay, what's the context? What's it mean to me, if anything? Who's Paul speaking to? Who's Jesus? Is he speaking to Jews? If he's speaking to Jews, he's not talking to me. I've learned to kind of create not barriers, but like, well, hang on a minute. He's talking to Jewish Pharisees. And once again, I'm not picking on the Jews. All right, let's look at Paul. Paul's talking at Corinth and he's talking to the Corinthians. And I'm going, oh, what's the picture here? What's he describing? Why is he telling some people to shut up and other people to listen? Like what's his program? What's his message? And I don't isolate, well, the women need to be silent. And it's like, no. What the hell is he? What's he talking? Like, what particular herb is he eating that day? And I despise now when people challenge me with a verse, because I am a little bit arrogant. Well, actually, that's where a little bit of arrogance does come in. I go like, actually, I think I know that a lot better than you do. And I've read it in the Greek, and what you're saying is completely out of context. And if I was to respond to you in the manner you're approaching me, you'd feel like I slapped you in the face. So I go, well, okay, that's your view, and you're welcome to it. And I'm not going to argue it. Thank you very much. Now, I do, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll go like, right, screw you. Screw you. Not very often. That's probably the thing I'm least, well, not proud of. Probably the thing I do the least, because every time I go there, it's like, oh, that was just really bad. You just sort of spoken from your heart. There's no point. There is no point in saying to someone, well, you listen, I've read it 1,000,000 times more than you have, and I know better. Oh, there's a squirrel above your left shoulder.
I know, isn't it fun? It keeps coming up and down the tree while we're talking.
I do. It was just above your left shoulder.
Yeah.
That wasn't I just thought that was so cool. I grew up in Germany.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was born in Germany, grew up in Germany, and obviously there's squirrels in Germany. We don't have them in Australia. The last time I saw a squirrel was in Thailand. We holidayed on an island in Thailand, and lo and behold, I didn't know they had got squirrels in Thailand, but all the trees in Thailand are full of squirrels. They're kind of close to me.
That I don't think about Thailand and squirrels. That's amazing.
No, they're kind of similar to the one that was just above you. And when we went there years ago, It was just a tropical holiday. I mean, I live in the tropics and I go to the tropics on holiday, go figure.
Right.
But no, the trees there, I said to my wife, I said, bloody hell, there's squirrels. And she goes, so? And I go, well, what are they doing in the tropics? And of course, it's one Europe and Eurasia is one big landmass. So of course there are squirrels there, and they have. I'm fascinated by them because we've got kangaroos and koalas, and they're not nearly as cute as squirrels.
Kangaroos are pretty cool, though. You know what I noticed, because I was blessed to be in Australia for 3.5 weeks. And I spent a few days, I was working, but I spent a few days out and visiting. I was very fortunate. I visited Tony Crow. I don't know if you know him. And I visited a few Facebook friends. And I got to see a kangaroo in person. And you know what's extraordinary to me is it reminded me of so funny now.
No, that's all right. Actually,
it reminded me of one of our animals. I forget, maybe it'll come to me. And I was just looking at it. I'm just like, you look like one of our animals, but it's not. Like, it's a kangaroo, but it's so much like this animal. And I'm like, oh, it's the same. It occupies the same niche. It does, it eats the grass, and it does the thing.
Yeah.
I think it was deer. I'm like, it looked like a deer. And I'm like, this is really weird, because the deer here, it comes around and it eats the grass, and it was so wild. I'm like, that is so cool. Like, some of the characteristics, I think it's deer, because it actually has the same job.
Well, obviously we have Australian animals, but we also have deer introduced. We have
You do?
6 or 7. We have 6 or 7 deer species. I think 2 from India. We got a samba and a chital deer. Yeah. Oh, and a rooster deer. We have roe deer from Europe. We have elk from America.
Why?
And one more. And they're all over the bush. Why?
Yeah. Was it an accident or on purpose?
Oh, no. Well, actually, they were brought here by wealthy English families for hunting.
Of course.
And really, I mean, why would you like the rabbit? The rabbit was released for hunting, and the fox we have foxes and wild dogs, and
they were all bred in too.
Yeah, and I think we have the world's largest population of dromedaries or camels.
Really?
Really? If you want to
find wild? In the wild?
They're all wild. We have millions of them. We have millions of deer, millions of wild Asian buffalo roaming free.
In the middle.
The camels like the dry stuff. The water buffalo tend to go north, tropical north, and the deer are in all the mild to moderate climes all around Australia, anywhere where it's not desert. We have a lot of wildlife, as well as the Australian fauna. Oh, sorry, that seemed like I was excluding Australian fauna from wildlife. I meant to incorporate.
I understand.
It's all. It's sorry, I wasn't excluding. There's a lot about. Well, there's a lot about Australia that people just don't know, but that's okay. I mean, I was surprised when I got here myself. I was 7. Well, once again, long story. Born in Germany.
And how long were you there?
Mum and Dad brought me out when I was 2. So I was born in 59, came out in 61, returned 72 because Mum and Dad didn't like Australia. So they took me back to Germany. I lived in Germany. I lived in Munich or München, southern Germany, Bavaria or Bayern for 3 or 4 years. Mum and Dad, well, no, I shouldn't say Mum and Dad. Dad was rest of soul. moved several times whilst living in Germany, came back to Australia in 77. And essentially, I haven't been to the same school more than once. I think I've been at 11 or 12 different schools, primary and secondary, all my life. Like, I have no school friends. I'm not lamenting that. I have no connections with first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Every grade was at a different school in a different place in Australia and also in Germany. Dad was a restless soul. So as a consequence, the stuff that most people have, that security, and perhaps maybe that's why I'm a good candidate for letting go of security. I never had security. I don't know what security is. The minute I made a friend, I lost them. Mm. And making friends for me was almost, well, the punishment for making friends is you lose them, like not in 5 years or 10 years, you lose them like every 3 or 4 months. So when you get to be about 7, 8 or 9, you go, well, to hell with that.
Right.
About 11 different primary and secondary schools. And when I came back to Australia, I tried to catch up. I went to night school to learn. Oh, you're not going to, this is going to, all right, Australianism. I'm not pissing in your pocket, all right? So I part of the curriculum here is to pass like your English and all that and your math and a second language. So I entered German as my second language in night school. I failed German because they're going like, well, that's not German. I go, well, that's what I'm saying is how they're talking in Germany like a year ago, and you're saying that's not how they talk in Germany. So I'm sorry if I don't meet your expectations, but I was there for 5 years, and where did you learn? Oh, well, you're not passing classes, Andreas. And I go, I realise I'm not passing classes, but you're not understanding German. So anyway, hence.
Oh, humans.
Yeah, there was the classic, well, if you're going to pass this class, you need to do, and I went, well, I'm sorry, but I speak perfectly good German. Yes. And I don't know what exactly it is you want me to do in your class, but so if you want me to write an essay in German and present it to you, like, do you want me to just talk in German and not give you a clue of what I'm talking about, including when I talk slang or like South Germans, like Southern accent in America? There's a Southern accent in Germany. Would you like me to talk in a Southern accent? Would you like me to talk in German drawl, y'all? And he goes like, well, no, that's not going to pass. And I say, well, see, you're failing me for what? Well, yeah. Anyway, that's another story.
Andy, this is such a good illustration of religion. Yeah. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
In religion, it's like, no, you didn't say shibboleth the right way.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Us humans, we just will make we'll get religious about anything.
And that's the tragedy. That's like someone like myself or yourself or someone you've met, like, I had this thing happen the other day, and you might go like, yeah, tell me about it. And you go, well, that's really cool, Oh, that's really cool. And you just leave it, and someone else might go like, well, that's just shit, you made that up. I mean, like, if someone's had an experience that makes them feel good, welcome, that makes them feel part of something, and you go like, well, yeah, well, that's just you. That was just a bit of self-talk, or you're just trying to make things better. And I go, well, hell yeah, like, more power to you. I mean, like, there's enough people trying to beat the tripe out of you. Why are you beating on someone that goes, I had a good experience the other day, I walked through the park and someone smiled at me and that was my experience. And you go, that's fantastic, honey. That really is. Or honey, or man, or
right.
Yeah, it's like, why is it that someone says they've had a good day and you've got to shit on them? What's with that? I don't get it.
Right. Yeah, competition. I have to be better. I have to know better. I have to know more.
And when I first started on Facebook, I did that. I totally did that because, see, I got out of the church. I knew all the scripture. I'd read it all backwards and forwards. I knew where the pitfalls were. So 2 years ago on Facebook, I'd go like, well, yeah, you're almost right, but, let me tell you, let me tell you. And that's pretty much vanished now. Although I do go there on occasion. And I notice you don't. I notice you just go, whatever. That little chip's pretty much almost gone, nearly, maybe. But I'm enjoying talking to you. And you must realise I don't do this. I don't do this. So this is not like, this is not like, you should be thankful I've granted you something. It's no, it's not that. No. It's not that at all, Rev. It's like I really do not do this. Because it's not my ministry. No, I don't have a ministry. I want people to know they're loved. I mean, is that a ministry?
Yes,
is it?
It is. Nobody has to know. The whole world doesn't need to know that you want people to be loved. You just go around loving people. And I think that's as big and as important a ministry as if a million people know and your name.
And it's not, well, I guess just to expand a fraction, my body is literally broken. I've had several injuries, but like I said, I'm not about to go into a woe is me session, but and I was asked, why do you do what you do? And particularly by some people that say, yeah, you're always there. So because there's nothing else. There's nothing else. Life's too short. I'm going to be in pain. You're going to be in pain. We're all going to suffer. And we can bitch and moan about that and get nowhere. Or we can say, like, do you know what? Out of all our angst, out of all our fears, out of all our confessing, possessing, blaming, the one thing we're not doing in trying to bolster each other up is we're not simply loving the other person. No questions asked. You don't have to perform. You're not a SEAL. You're not a trained monkey. You don't need, if I say jump, you don't need to say how high, because I'm not asking you to jump this high. I'm just saying, I can see you. I can see you. And my God, so many people need validation, and I used to, until I did the whole jump off the cliff, sit outside for night after night and go into that. Well, I guess King Arthur would go into a cave and slay a dragon. I guess I did my bit. I went, no.
Yeah.
I'm well, what am I, 63 now? What did I do that in? I started in 2005. I'm not figuring the age here, but I spent enough time. I mean, I was a Sunday school teacher. They wanted to make me a pastor. I had my own home cell group. I had like 15 people that would come around and we'd talk about their day, my day, have communion, all that. Now, do you know why that stopped?
No.
Because I served real wine.
Couldn't have real wine?
I served real wine, and the church I was with said, well, you can't be doing that in a home group. And I said, well, I did. And yeah, so that stopped because, and I had milk, water, grape juice and wine. So it doesn't matter, you can have milk, water, grape. Everyone took the wine. Everyone. And someone thought to tell the pastor, the deacon, and they said, oh, look, you know, we don't do that. And I said, we don't do what? Well, we don't serve wine. And I said, well, it's none of your business what I do at my place. What you do in church is your business.
Silly, you're so silly.
How to make friends and influence people, eh, Rev? So
none of your business.
Yeah.
That's a riot. Yeah, it shouldn't be, right? It shouldn't be anybody's business, but
so I'm not necessarily like a law unto myself. I think I've been a people pleaser for most of my life, and I still am. But just don't piss in my pocket and tell me it's raining. You know, I'm over that bit. I'm really over that bit. And if you hang with me long enough, you'll get the Australianisms. You'll go like, yeah. Not quite sure what he said, but I think he was talking about people making fun of him. So listen, thank you so much for doing this. Like I said, I'm not accustomed to, I don't do Zooms or anything like that. The most I do is make fun of Wendy or tell JJ he's being an idiot.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, I think there's a false humility in me where when I'm recognised for anything, I go, well, yeah, you know, it wasn't me. It's kind of a reverse pride or something. I want to be recognised, but I hate it when people recognise me. Is there a word for that, you know?
I can relate, though. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So it does seem like your humility is high, although sometimes you get your tail gets twisted. When your tail's not twisted every now and then, but it seems like you're a lot of humility, and I just love you're just willing to just be with me, be yourself. That's humility. You're just being here on the ground, talking like human beings. It's wonderful. Thank you. And could I give you two little things?
Yeah, sure. Do I need to note them?
No, only if you want to. I mean, it's
no. I noticed.
You know, this whole thing with you and JJ with the Y guy stuff, it's kind of fascinating, right? But like what I heard when you were talking, one thing I heard is like you guys both are very dedicated to like reality.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And that's a definite values match there. And so it makes more sense of the dance. It's like, just don't be making up dumb stuff.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
And I do,
you know,
I think you coming as your beautiful human self, your beautiful, loving, you're a natural connector, really helps balance.
Yeah. I said something once, it was a couple of months ago. Well, actually, no, it was like 6 months ago. And someone said something, and I wrote as an answer, you know, yada, 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 you know, blah, 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 blah. And they said, oh, I can't see that in Scripture. Where's that in Scripture? And I said, well, it's not in scripture. I just made it up. And they said, you did what? And I said, if I quoted 5 scriptures to you and then combined them all, that would be the exact thing I said to you. So rather than quoting 5 scriptures, I've summed them all up in a sentence or 2. So I made it up. Well, you can't do that. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but I just did. So
I just did, and I served wine.
yes, yeah.
Live with it. That's awesome.
So I'm finding you to be a delightful person so far. Well, this is my first venture outside this dome with the toys.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need to know the whole story about the toys. It's good.
Well, I mean, if that appears on any future meeting, I mean, you can explain why Andrew's got toys in his room. Look, this is Andrew, or this is Andreas. He's my European friend.
He likes to talk about pissing in the pocket. He's my European friend.
He's my European Ozzie friend.
Awesome. Well, I'm very grateful. Did you get what you needed today? I think you had some questions. Do you just wanted to feel for me and what I mean by mysticism?
Well, actually, the mysticism thing was not a concern, but truly, I mean, honestly, when people say, oh, look, I'm a mystic, I go like, and I've Googled mystic, I've Googled Gnosticism, all the stuff people talk about, I have to Google that shit because English is actually my second language. So I go, what are people talking? What's Gnostic? What's
yes.
So I read it and I read it and I read it and I go, all right. And then I look up definitions or other words. I get the thesaurus out and I go, what do people mean? What do people mean? And because I grew, there's a lot of, I think Wendy's a mystic. Wendy Francisco and a lot of people there. So in that sense, I kind of get it. But people say, are you a mystic? And I go like, fuck, I don't know, am I? So I have the ease with which people may talk about things. And I'm not claiming like a special need or requirement here. If it's your second language, German's my first language,
yes,
and being to like all these different schools, I never actually learnt English properly other than street English. So yeah, when one of the things that kind of gives me pause or makes me stop is when people start getting all technical or scholarly, shall we say. And I just bust them in the balls by going, look, you might have read it and all this, but you don't know what it means. And they go, how dare you? And I go, well, yeah, how dare I indeed. So I've developed a little bit of a thick skin to, I guess, the religious, because they're the ones that want the Matthew 5:13s and the Philemon 1:3s and the Peter. They want to go like, well, justify it. And I go, nah. If what I'm saying doesn't make any sense to you, then I can't quote enough stuff to make you see.
Right. We can read the Bible a million times and not get it. And then you can sit outside a few days and then you get it.
Yes. Hello. Wake up, everyone. If you're afraid there is no God, sit outside. You're coming up to summer, sit outside in the summer's evening with the crickets and the squirrels and the funny noises and go like, hey, I wonder if there is a God or if there's not a God. Well, sit there. Don't ask your husband. Don't ask your wife. Don't ask your partner. Don't tell anyone. Just go out there and go, you know, I've believed this for 1 year. I've believed this all my life, but I am willing for whatever I believe not to exist. I mean, think about it. Think about the emotional connection you're making with yourself when you go,
Yes.
The emotional context and danger you're putting your own person in when you go, I'm willing to accept that what I've been taught from childhood and what I believe now is false. And that's what's on the plate. That's I'm not offering anything, but I'm willing to accept it. It's all right, darkness. All right, darkness, here I am. Do your worst.
It's so admirable, and it is the way, Andy, I think. It's like that whole die daily thing. Every now and then we're called to do the big deaths and resurrections, and that's exactly what you did. You laid down your life and laid down all of your attachments, and were willing to just say, unto you I give my spirit. If you're there, if you're not, fuck you, whatever. And then stuff happens.
That's the dangerous bit for a lot of people, is like, if you are there, because if you weren't willing to say if you are there, you wouldn't do it. You go like, oh shit, what happens if there is nothing there? Then I'm screwed. But to go like, actually, I'm prepared to go in that cave and look for that dragon, and if there ain't no dragon, I'll just come right out and say, I didn't see a dragon. So
it's the most wonderful, important things that we can do, and it changes everything.
And for me, it's stopped. Well, no, stopped is the wrong word. It's released me from pretty much everything, from having like, well, this is right and that's wrong. Like, oh, well, I accept gays, but they're a bit weird. Or the pro-life, I'm sort of pro-life, and it's like, no, I don't need to categorise anyone. It's like, who are you? Oh, I'm Reverend Wendy Wolf. I go, cool, pleased to meet you. And someone once started explaining, I friended someone last year, and they started explaining that no one had friended them, and they were in a transition. They've been married and as a male, and now and I said, hey, stop it. Don't go any further. You're my friend now. I actually don't care if you are married and a man, or you're married and a woman. And I said, I'm interested in you. And they went, shit, you mean that, don't you? And I said, absolutely I do. So this person's been my friend for a bit over a year. I said, don't ever, ever explain to anyone, please don't ever explain to anyone who you are. They're your friend or they're not your friend. And I said, I'm your friend. So do you know that whole shit that you carry as an ordained minister or as you go through church, that, the give your heart to Jesus and do right, and God's always looking, and what would Jesus do? To hell with that shit. Yeah. Because you never know what you never know what the realities of life are until you put aside what you imagine life should be. You just got to bury that shit and go, all right, this is life. People get hurt. People love. People hate. People kill. God doesn't answer every prayer. Actually, God fucking rarely answers prayer. It's more in you and what you do than going, oh, God, help me. And God's going, well, yeah, you've got the whole fucking planet. What more do you want? And what's happening? What's going to happen in the future? Well, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I guess when I'm dead, I'll either know or I won't know. But in the meantime, I've got a lot of loving to give.
Yes.
So I'm not going to waste any time on, oh, where's the kingdom of heaven? You know, am I getting in? It's like, of course we're in. We're all in. Like, get with the program, everyone. Everyone's in. So, all right, that's step number one. Now start loving each other. Start loving each other. You know.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. You've given such great words. Your beingness is amazing, but there's several times I'm just like, just preach it, brother. This is so good. So good.
In lieu of our little, well, it's actually been a very good meeting. I'm happy to be a part of what you're doing in as much as I can, considering not making excuses, but yeah, all right. I do a lot of stuff for the Y Guy and for Wendy voluntarily. So I'm you know, if you're happy to invite me into something else, if you dare, yeah, I'll be in as best I can be, with the time difference and all that.
I know time difference makes it a little hard. Yeah, you know, we part of why we're talking is because you were like, hey, I want to talk to you before, you know, because I'd invited you to a meditation.
Yeah, that's right.
Which you can't, you know, it's just there if you want it. And, you know, I don't know if you'll like it or if you won't. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to like it.
Why don't you know?
If you came.
That was a trick question. That was an Australian question.
What?
I said, why don't you know? Now, there's no answer to that. That was a little Australian impishness coming out.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Like some people, for me, this kind of meditation that I do works really well for me. And some people really like it a lot. And some people are like, that's nice. Have a nice day. And it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that we don't like each other. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong or you're right or I'm wrong. Like it doesn't, there's no meaning. It's just, you know, I like red cabbage and you like Brussels sprouts or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. and that essentially that's, I guess, pretty much when you said I've joined that group you suggested. It's pretty much where I was going. Like, okay, I'm more than happy to share what I can and be a part of what you're doing. But I'd like to talk to you first. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you have a group of one or a group of 1,000, and that's the volume is not important. But your person was important. Like, all right, if I'm going to get involved, and I'm already involved elsewhere with other stuff, I'd like to meet the person. If the capacity is large or small, and so far I'm very impressed.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, you know, we're both just showing up and being ourselves, and that's beautiful. That's love. So just showing up with ourselves. Go ahead. So
what's on for today? After you have you had are you a morning person? Have you had your breakfast, or are you going to have a coffee?
I am generally not a morning person, but I got up with the light this morning, 5:30, and I went for a hike. Right. And then we drove out. It took like 40 minutes to get where I am now. And Michael, my partner, we just celebrated 27 years together. Yeah. And he's just off for the day doing what he's doing in this cute little town. And I am, I've got an hour and 15 minutes to get some work done. And then I'm doing a trade with a friend of mine of the kinds of things we do. We kind of be in a space and get information and help each other have perspective. about what's going on for our lives. And then I'll do some more work and we'll be done at 4. And then I'll go for a nice hike and,
with
to the end of the day.
So far I'm in it, except for all the hiking. Sorry, that was Aussie humour coming out.
All the hawking?
All the hiking. You said hiking as in walking.
Oh, walking, hiking. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I used to do a lot of walking, hiking, as you say, but like I said, a bit messed up. I've had some knee replacements and stuff like that. So, but shit happens.
Has it worked? Is they better?
Well, they're steel now instead of bone, and they're working. So, yeah, a bit of codeine and a bit of weed helps. So,
yeah. And what's your everyday life like, Andy?
I try to keep our house as clean as possible. I like gardening. I can't do as much as I used to, but I like gardening. And we never really get cold here. Like the coldest it gets here, I'll try and convert it to Fahrenheit because you guys are weird. You still haven't switched to centigrade.
I know. We want to have it our way.
It's like, anyway, so I think the coldest it gets here in winter would be like same as Miami. Like we might get down to like 35, maybe once or twice a year. And the rest of the time that'll be a cold night here. The rest of the time it's in the 50s or 60s, and 8 months of the year it's always in the mid 70s. It's probably only about 3 months where we don't get into the high 70s. June, July, August, your summer, our winter.
Yeah.
So about 90 days where we get 21, 22 centigrade. I guess that's 70, 71 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. It's awful. So
when I visited, I was there in your summer. I was there in our summer. I was there in your winter, and I was blessed to be able to go swimming, and go in the ocean. It was gorgeous.
Well, our water temperature, the ocean temperature at our beach, I live like about a mile from our beach. There's beach everywhere, but from where I live, it's about a mile away, and I can hear the ocean every night.
Oh, I love that.
The waves. But the ocean temperature is still 25 degrees Celsius. So what's that? Getting close to 80 degrees. That's the temperature of the ocean where I live at the moment. So
that's hot.
Well, no, it's not. Actually, no, it's not when you live here. It seems
for you, it's not.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
I'm just then. I may, if I write about where I live and you happen to see it, and if I post a picture of this is my local beach, you'll go like, oh, that's where Andy is. Now I know what he's talking about. So, and it's been good. It's been good. I'm happy, and I'm kind of. Do you understand the word verlegen?
No.
German word verlegen. It's a very. I often use German words because they're very descriptive. Unfortunately, English people or people that speak English don't understand. Verlegen means like goofy, embarrassed, but kind of happy about it. It's it's not a multi-purpose word in Germany, but to explain it properly, you need to use several English terms, which is why I hate people sticking to biblical translations, because I can't even translate one German word into one English word.
Yeah.
Verlegen. Do you ever heard the word forlorn? You have a forlorn look about you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of that. The Germans use it as like, you kind of look lost, but when you notice it, isn't it? When you say it to someone else, it means you're interested. The implication is when someone says you look forlorn, the implication is I'm interested. Can you tell me about it? So if I said to you, you look lost, you go, oh, whatever, and move on. But if you say to someone in German, du siehst verloren aus, or you look forlorn, the implication is, the only reason I said that was because I'm interested, where are you now? Where are you now? What's happening in your mind? Like, tell me. So that single word means you look lost, but the implication when it's expressed in German means it's an expression of interest.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm bombarding you now with another language. But,
no, it's great. It's great.
The implication is, I don't know, I'm trying to use an English ism, and I can't find one right now, but I'll figure one out. Well, if I remember one, I'll let you know. But there are English sayings that imply a lot more than the single word.
Yes, there are. We have them. Yeah. Great.
All right.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you for being willing to be goofy, embarrassed, and happy about it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for remembering. I sincerely hope that you have a great day and a good lunch with some coffee and cake or whatever you guys do. I tell you, I learned American breakfasts in Mauritius. They had pancakes, bacon, and honey all on one plate. I was in Mauritius years ago, and I went, "What the hell?" And anyway, everyone's hanging in on this, and I thought, "All right, I'll try it." And so pancakes, bacon, and honey all on one plate. And my wife said, "How is it?" And I said, "Actually, it's really nice."
Yeah, there's nothing to argue with.
It's really nice.
Right.
I'm used to European breakfast, like sauerkraut and Wurst, and here's this bacon with honey and pancakes, syrup. And so, yeah, that was Mauritius in like about 20 years ago. And then again, I travel a fair bit, and then again in Thailand. And so, yeah, bacon and honey on pancakes or maple syrup.
Yeah. Nothing to argue. Nothing to argue with.
Nothing to argue.
I think having had this conversation, I recently opened up the Christianish mystic group.
Yeah.
And I really think this is the place for this. If that's comfortable. Is that comfortable to share there? And then from there you can share if you want to, or whatever, you can see it, whatever. Okay, so if you're comfortable, I'll put it on there.
All right. Yeah.
Awesome.
And not really a provisor, but at times I may write things. Feel free to say, like, "Andy, I don't know what the hell you're talking about." Like, just say it, and I'll go like, "Oh, I have gone off on a bit of a tangent." Just say, "Look, no, speak English. Not sprechen Sie Deutsch." Just go, "Andy, speak English." All right. All right.
Okay. You could say the same to me.
I will.
Okay. Bye-bye, brother. Thank you.
Have a great day, sweetie.
You too.
Bye-bye.